You have touched something too hot, and your hand was already moving before you felt it. A panhandle, a mug that lied to you. You'd say the pain is what pulled you back. It wasn't. That was a reflex, your spinal cord working on its own. You were told afterwards. The finger was already saved. The sharp hurting turned up a third of a second later. The deep hurting took a second more. So did the lesson. Don't do that again. You can tell that whole story, heat, pull, lesson, and never once mention that somebody was in there feeling it hurt. It doesn't need him. And somebody was. Behind your eyes, the one this is all happening to. Being told about it afterwards, like a passenger, that's the one we're here to get. And he is the hard one. The only thing we know about him is that he is the one feeling it. So, why does a burn hurt at all? Right now, that finger is not your only problem. You're also slightly cold, slightly thirsty. You haven't eaten in a while, and something behind you just moved. 4 things. 1 body. 1 next move. Now, your skin counts degrees. Your gut counts calories. Your bladder counts milliliters. Nothing in a body can weigh degrees against milliliters. There's no scale. They aren't the same kind of number, and the reflex is no help here. It's a rule. Hot, let go. It has no opinion about whether letting go matters more than the thing behind you. So something has to rank them. Something has to decide which one wins. Every one of them gets a weight. That's what the hurting is. It's weight. And weight is the one thing you can put on a scale. That's the leading answer, still argued. Mild thirst weighs almost nothing. Real thirst outweighs whatever you were doing. And your finger just now outweighed the lot. And it's why hot food is wonderful when you're starving and unbearable when you're full. Same food, different weight. Nobody sat down and thought it through. The ranking isn't the clever part. It happens whether you're clever or not. A scientist called Michel Cabanach gave this a name. He called it a common currency. 1 scale, so a body with 4 problems can pick. And notice who isn't in that answer. Not one line of it mentions that anybody was home. Which is exactly what you'd expect. If he really is just riding along, keep one eye on him. Now, this is starting to look like the whole story. And there's a bigger version of it, one that's genuinely elegant. Your body isn't checking how warm you are. It already knows. 37 degrees. It holds you near that all day without being asked. And the world keeps pulling you off it. Cold is just the gap. Shivering closes it without asking anyone. Reaching for a coat doesn't happen unless it's felt. Felt by somebody we still haven't found. Same move as the finger. Something is off. Do the thing that puts it back. There's even a proposal. And it is a proposal, not a finding, that feeling good isn't having no gaps. It's the gaps closing. It is a very good answer to a different question. Remember, that was meant to be the way into him. It explains why a burn hurts. It doesn't explain why it has to. And the people who built this say so themselves. It explains the staying alive, not the feeling of it. Picture the whole thing again, the heat, the pull, the lesson. With nobody in there, the account still works. It just never mentions him, and none of it needs him. That's the version you'd expect. You got the other one, which leaves him, the one it's all happening to. And nobody's quite sure where to start with somebody like that. Let's start with when he turned up, because he hasn't always been here. Everything you have ever thought happened behind those eyes, every memory you own. And once, there was none of that, anywhere. 600 million years ago, there are no brains on this planet. Nothing thinks. Nobody is in there. There are barely even nerves. Something down there gets the first ones, a net with no center. Poke it, and it twitches. Nothing is in charge of the twitch, and, as far as anyone can tell, nothing in there minding it. Then, about 540 million years ago, animals get eyes that make pictures. And now you can be seen, and the things that can see you are coming, so a twitch stops being enough. Now you need something that takes the eyes, the body, and the thing hunting you, and pulls it into one picture. One picture. From one point of view. Some scientists think that's the moment. It's a good guess. Nobody was there. After that, it's mostly just more brain. The first mammals ran about 20 regions. You have 200. So somewhere in 600 million years of things getting bitten and stung and stood on, the twitching turned into hurting. And there is no line in the rock where that happened. No agreement, maybe no way to ever get one. All right, we can't say when. Let's try where. Here's the good news. He is in your brain. A box on your shoulders about the size of a melon. We have scanners, we have electrodes. We can sit and listen to one brain cell at a time. So he shouldn't be hard to find. Start with the obvious place, the thinking part of the brain. The big folded bit on top, cortex. Some children are born almost without it. They still startle. They still settle. They still seem to mind things, which either means he isn't in the clever part, or that we can't tell minding from looking like minding. That argument is still running. We can even switch him off, not the nerves. Him, anaesthetic, every day in every hospital, completely reliable. We know exactly what the drug does to a brain cell. Nobody can tell you what it does to him. So try the last place anyone would look, the signal itself. You can follow it the whole way, out of your finger, up your arm, into your spine, up into your brain. You can watch it arrive. You can name every step. And nowhere on that road is there a point where it starts to hurt. It just does. And there are people who study this who think there's nothing left over to explain, that the sense of something missing is one more thing the brain does. They might be right. Nobody has shown it. So far, he's winning. Slippery customer. So, we looked in the wrong place. Twice. Here's what you've been picturing this whole time. A body doing its work. And him, somewhere behind your eyes, being told about it. The body does. He feels. Two things. There aren't two things. He isn't a passenger. He isn't sitting behind your eyes, waiting to be told what everything weighs. The hurting isn't something that happens to him. It's what he's made of. The brain does this. All of it. That's why we couldn't find him. Not because he is missing. He's in there. But he was never a place. Everything we found was the brain handling it, sorting it, reporting it. None of it was the feeling. You can point at every part of a brain, but you cannot point at the hurting. And everything we found on the way was real. The mug, your hand already gone. Nothing here makes it hurt any less. There's a word for him, by the way. Consciousness. It sounds like an answer. It's a name for the thing nobody can explain. 600 million years, getting better at choosing what to do next. And somewhere in there, for no reason anybody can give you, the comparing started to feel like something. Tonight, you'll pick up something that's too hot, and somebody will be in there when you do.